Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for taking the time, and I'm excited to tell you everything I know about the Bennion Center. So, my name is Chris Wada. I'm the Marketing and Communications Director here at the Bennion Center, and my pronouns are he and him. So, taking you through these slides, I try to think through what would be the best way if I were a new or transfer student to the U. So, let's start off with what is the Bennion Center? We are the community engagement hub for the University of Utah. We connect students, faculty, and staff to community engagement through experiential learning, volunteering, and leadership opportunities. There's a lot there. The big thing is that we connect not only students, but also faculty, staff. We work with a number of community partners and even community members. Our mission is to inspire and mobilize people to strengthen communities through learning, scholarship, and advocacy. So who is welcome to join the Bennion Center to check us out? There is something for everyone, truly. There are a ton of options. Again, students, faculty, staff, and community partners, all majors and years, undergrad and graduate students. Just pausing there for a minute. One thing I hear repeatedly from students is the unique experience that all majors and years bring to the Bennion Center. Oftentimes, you get stuck within your major. You see the same people, talk about the same things. This serves as a break from everything and a great place to get a lot of different perspectives. Options for all levels include, it doesn't matter how much volunteer experience you've had in the past. And we've also have a number of different interest types and time commitments that you could look into. So let's jump into by interest type. So you can volunteer your time, travel with purpose, earn academic credit, work study reading tutors, live on campus, and lead by example. These are general categories that we've placed all of our programs in to help students new to the Bennion Center get a better idea of all the different options that are available. We also have categorized them by time commitment. So one time, week-long plus, semester-based, academic year, and multi-year. So again, something for everyone. There's all sorts of different options for you to pursue, look into, and low commitment options, such as like a one-time Saturday service project. So why should you engage with us? The biggest reason is really truly for that feeling that you are part of something bigger than yourself. I hear it repeatedly. It's a wonderful thing to get out inside the community, learn about different environmental and social issues while making an impact through your actions. It's really taking everything that you learn, but actually learning by doing. Instant community for both in-state and out-of-state students. Sense of belonging on campus is important. And then it's just a real positive community impact at the end of the day. Gain new perspectives different from your own, create new personal friendships and professional connections, and ultimately spark a lifelong love of community engagement if you aren't already there. Learn by doing, experiential learning outside the classroom and into the community. This is a big aspect that we'll get more into as I review all the programs, but it's hands-on learning. Again, take a break from your coursework and major. Again, mentioned a little earlier, but this is something that I hear repeatedly around. It's nice just to get out of my head, get into the community, help others, support different causes you're passionate about or you learn about and find a new passion there. And then again, turn theory into practice, take action. Make a positive impact on your community or communities you are a part of, definitely recognizing there are a lot of different communities. So saying just community as a broad description might not be accurate for everyone. And then resume boosters, you're helping the community, but everyone comes to college to get a degree, to pursue a professional pursuit in life. And the leadership experience through a number of different ways through at the Bennion Center is huge. Volunteer hours, if you are pre-med, if you need them to apply for grad school, etc. And then really a lot of interview talking points. I've heard a lot of examples where, hey, I wouldn't have received this internship or even been offered an interview if I didn't have all the experience with these different nonprofits, experience leading and empowering a team of students, etc. And then at the end of the day, this is all volunteer basis, but it's time well spent. And then where are we located on campus? We get this question a lot. Our main office is located inside the Student University Union, and we're on the first floor, room 101, kind of outside the cafeteria towards the west side of the building, if that helps you at all. We also have a Bennion Center kiosk location inside Collard Village. It's the new first year housing complex on campus. We're on the main floor in the lobby area, and that is where our service corner is located. And we'll talk more about that coming up. So again, questions here. When is the best time to get started? Anytime is the simple answer. There are different programs that have application dates, deadlines, etc. But for the most part, there are options that you can join any time of the year. And then how do I get started? So again, another hopefully simple answer. It's our website, bennioncenter.org. We've created this website to create a journey by different audiences with different categories that are more relatable and understandable. And the goal is there's a lot going on at the Bennion Center, but the hope is it's not too overwhelming. So now I'll take you through the website. All right, so here you'll see our website on the screen. Welcome to the Bennion Center. As you scroll down, ways to engage for every audience, learn how by selecting one of the following options. So we've broken it up into different audiences so that you have a targeted journey and hopefully you get exactly what you want to know and you don't have to go through anything that doesn't apply to you. Students, this is where you'll go for volunteering, academic credits, and leadership, basically everything. We also have a section for faculty, specifically CEL faculty, University of Utah, staff, faculty, advisors, etc. And then Salt Lake, the greater community, for different community members to also be involved. But focused here on students, you'll click here and be taken to choose your Bennion Center experience. So all of our options organized below by time, interest, or program name. This is what I was talking about earlier with the slides, these top headings, time, interest, and name. So let's start here with time. So you're new to the Bennion Center, new to the U, wondering, I want to get engaged, not sure where, not sure how much time commitment, where to get started. So one-time opportunities make the most sense. Service Corner is kind of our grab and go, drop in any time service project to where you can go with a friend, you can go by yourself, join others. In this year of COVID, it's been limited to a lot of different virtual events, but there still are in-person locations at the Collard Village BC kiosk to be able to pick up different service projects. So the Service Corner, drop in service projects. If you click into the actual program page, it shows here examples of our ongoing projects this year. So you can write greeting cards for seniors, knitted hats for adults, or help sew and cut out different designs for COVID-19 face masks. So with that said, if you go to the Bennion Center kiosk inside Collard Village, there's different kits, project kits, if you will, that you can pick up. Even with the knitted hats, the knitting loom that you'll see there in the center, they rent those out so you can pick up as much yarn, materials, supplies that you need. You can take your time, get through the projects at your own rate, and then go back and drop them off once they're finished. You can then pick up another kit or save it for another day. It's really a low commitment, flexible, based on time opportunity. There's a how to knit video that we've created to kind of help you with your kid at home. The service corner at the Bennion Center kiosk is shown here. There's different hours that there will be an attendant there. And then just generally speaking, here's the Collard Village Gail Miller Community Engagement Tower that we also run programming for. So now if we go back to this one time, there's also first year experience. And this is a relatively new name to some familiar programs here at the Bennion Center. For first year students, transfer, or just new to the U, this would be a great opportunity to get into community engagement through a cohort of your peers. It's roughly around 30 first year students. That applications open late summer, probably around July, to apply to be a part of this cohort, where you'll participate as a group in a number of different service projects, forums, workshops, etc. It's a great way to get started, and many of the students that go through this cohort end up becoming a lot of the student leaders that are very active in the Bennion Center throughout their entire time at the U, especially their undergrad. Week-long plus, so these are week-long plus because they're both over either spring or fall break, but there are some meetings and in some cases courses leading up to the actual trip that are required. Alternative breaks, what this is, a very popular program. It's fall and spring break / weekend experiences. So essentially there's pre-meetings, post-meetings, reflections. There's a lot of education and learning around the different communities, the causes, the nonprofits, the social and environmental issues that you're going to help support outside of our local area. Again, essentially you get in a van with a number of other students, travel to a location from Denver west all the way to Vancouver, BC, San Diego, Portland, Seattle, etc., to go to an identified community cause that you can pick from. These require applications. This year, they have turned, due to COVID, into what they call AB Light experiences, which are just weekend breaks that are following all the COVID guidelines. But going into fall and fall break for alt breaks, everything looks positive, like we'll be able to go back to a normal week-long trip over fall break. There's a few weekend experiences in the fall semester, same thing in the spring break, and a few spring semester weekend experiences for you to apply to. Generally speaking, fall breaks, the application deadline's around the end of August and around the end of January for spring break applications to be a participant. There's also learning abroad. So again, not a lot of students know that these travel opportunities are available, but that we do offer two. This fall, it'll be going to Cuba, and in the spring semester, Costa Rica. So these are more community engaged, focused learning abroad trips with a 1 week intensive at each of those locations. Semester based. So here we go. There's a lot to learn, trying to help through these categorizations, but here we go. Community partnership programs. It's basically the program that started the Bennion Center. It's where student leaders are very empowered. They take the lead. They work directly with a community partner, nonprofit or otherwise, to help solve an identified community need. A big philosophy approach here is that we don't feel like we come in and help where help isn't needed or wanted. It's always a community identified need where they've asked for support. So community partnership programs, this is probably one of the largest programs at the Bennion Center. So let's take a little closer look. There are 6 issue areas, stay with me please, shown here. Within each issue area, advocacy for example, we work with this list of community partners. This involves a student leader, but then each student leader is responsible to recruit different volunteers. So these are great opportunities new to the Bennion Center want to get into volunteering, if you have a specific cause, interest, etc., this would be a good way. Anytime throughout the year, you can submit your volunteer interest form, which we'll talk about more later, to look into all of these programs. I know it's a lot, but it's also great because there's so many options. Looking through here, and then here down to mentorship, just trying to give you a quick look at some of the different community partners that we work with, roughly nearly 50 total. And it's a good way to put your time and effort to a cause, a nonprofit organization inside the community. So many of these opportunities, most of them are off campus within the community. So that's a community partnership program. And if we go back up here, there's also the communications team, which I help manage. This is something, again, that the Bennion Center, if you're interested or you want a creative outlet to support a passion, if it's in line with your major, or you just like to do it on the side and you would do it in your free time anyways, you could help with social media, take photos, help edit videos, film videos. I think I mentioned social media. There's writing, there's campus outreach, graphic design, so on and so forth. Community engaged learning courses. So the Bennion Center and the University of Utah, community engaged learning courses, there's roughly around 100 of them per semester. These are offered throughout all majors here on campus. And through the Bennion Center, we also offer a number of BENN courses that are CEL designated, that we use to help spread and teach and educate around different community engagement topics. Pathways to community engagement and Intro to Civic Leadership are two of our main courses, which are also requirements for some of the other academic credential areas of the Bennion Center that I will talk about next or soon. So other things within the academic year, Utah Reads is a federal work study program where you'll be a reading tutor for elementary schools. Bennion Center Student Leaders is actively recruiting and applications you can submit really at the first part of every spring semester. This is for roughly 150 student leader positions across all of the programs within the Bennion Center. And like a lot of things we've talked about, there's different opportunities based off time commitment there as well. And there are a number of opportunities that you don't need any prior Bennion Center experience to apply. There's the Bennion Service House. Another thing that most people don't know is we have on-campus housing options for community-minded individuals to live within a supportive community and participate in events together. So the Bennion Service House, it's an officer circle on campus. There's like the STEM house, the different major college department houses. There's a Bennion Service House where there's 12 residents that live together. They help hold a series of different forums, participate in different activities together. And then the brand new Gail Miller Community Engagement Tower at Collard Village. This is only for first year students at the U. So this is a good option if you would like to live not only on campus in the newest, it's an amazing new complex, but it would be a nice place to live, to be around other majors. Again, a lot of the same things I've mentioned. For the housing, on-campus housing options, those are through Housing and Residential Education. The priority deadline every year for that to apply to live there would be March 10th. And they're still accepting applications now though. So if through the summer you'd like to live there, I would encourage you to check it out. And then multi-year, I know there's a lot. If you're still with me, thank you. We have Bennion Scholars, which is a diploma designation. It involves a number of volunteer hours. It involves a number of different CL courses like Intro to Civic Leadership. and it ends with a capstone project. This is open to all majors. You can apply a lot of your academic interests to different community passions. A lot of very unique capstone projects come from this that really create a very, sustainable community impact. And then our highest academic credential is our community engagement certificate. This is brand new. Um, this is really going to roll out this fall 2021. Would love for you to check it out. There's a page on our site just to learn more information about it. But what I'm told is a certificate is viewed by some as good or greater than a minor. Take that for what you will. That's what I've heard. Volunteer interest form. So once you kind of understand the programs, and I should show you really quickly, interest based off these different areas, and then program name literally goes through each program if you know exactly what you're looking for. So once you have a good idea of what you'd like to do, this volunteer interest form is where you would go to volunteer for different Bennion Center programs, specifically available volunteer opportunities that are currently available, I should say. So you'll come here, you can click, select an option. Jumping into service has a number of the other individual programs. So let's say communication team. You would select at least one, up to 3 options, fill out your form, submit it, and then a student leader from whatever program you showed interest in will contact you, go over options, ways that you can volunteer, timing, locations, etc. Then best ways to engage with us would be upcoming ways. Here we'll list all upcoming applications, due dates, and also any kind of events that require registration. This is a good way just to see, hey, what's going on, what's upcoming, just to make sure you know what's going on. There are active ways to engage. Student leader applications, again, great thing to look into, a number of different options. Currently, there's a donation drive going on. Every 2 weeks, we have a community conversation. These are open for anyone to attend. There's varying topics. This one, equity and justice at the U. All varying topics that are student submitted, so they're relevant to what students want to discuss. Service Corner nights, another kind of extension of Service Corner where you would pick up a kit. These are all unique projects, different from the standard ongoing projects. And then here, due date to become a Bennion Scholar. Different options there. Our calendar, beyond what's in this upcoming event section, here you'll see our entire academic annual calendar to just see what else is out there. One thing I would love to direct you to is when you click in this, if you hit subscribe, you can click on weekly email, put in your name and address, and every Sunday, it'll send you whatever events are for that week. It's helpful for me, and I should know about all of them. So it's just another thing if you want to stay up to date and know what's going on without having to do a lot of visits to our website. Other things, so stay connected. Following us on Instagram at Bennion Center is by far my best recommendation, not only selfishly because it'll increase our followers and reach and ability to share and create more awareness, but we put a lot of time and effort to show different programs, as many photos as we can find. We highlight all the upcoming events. It's truly the best way to stay in the know. You can subscribe to our email newsletters. Other options, so we have a community bulletin board. So the Bennion Center programs, they're wonderful. But if other opportunities exist for volunteers where there's a need, we try to help bring attention and recruitment around that. So if you're not finding what you wanted to within the Bennion Center, there are potentially a few more one-time opportunities here at the Community Bulletin Board. And then we also offer additional volunteer ideas, many of which are virtual, just given the environment we've been in. And then student resources, You can request an academic advising appointment to learn more about how the community engaged learning courses for credit would play into your major, the scholars, the certificate, etc. We also have a number of scholarships and awards that you can check out here, help with living through some of our on-campus locations, different awards, scholarships, etc. And then we have the option for you to schedule a 10-minute Zoom meeting. If you haven't heard enough of me talking, there's more that we can add and or more specific questions we can answer. The Bennion Center blog, lots of good stuff there. And then, hey, it's just like a show and tell of our Instagram account. Every Monday, we post all of our upcoming events and application flyers. So again, just one more place to be like, oh, I didn't miss out on that. I have time this week. What can I get engaged with? So on and so forth. So lastly, going to our Instagram account, different highlights showing different aspects of the Bennion Center. This is what I mentioned earlier about having all the different flyers of upcoming events that come out every Monday or post every Monday. And then we have a little video for you. So it's not me talking this entire time. So here's just kind of a preview of some of the different things we do. But this is a video we created. I'd love to share it with you.
The Bennion Center has always been a refuge for me.
One thing I love about the Bennion Center is the inclusive culture that we have.
The Bennion Center is sort of the hub of community engagement on campus, and so any type of community engagement, whether it's arts or activism or the environment or health, like all the different ways that you can be involved in the community, I think the Bennion Center has a program for it.
What I've loved about my experience at the Bennion Center so far is being able to come every day and have a community of students where we can really be open with each other and have conversations about either current events or things going on in the world right now, and how we as students have the ability to impact either our campus community or our broader community as a whole. And so it's been really fun collaborating with different students.
One experience that stands out to me is an alt break I went on in maybe sophomore year to Los Angeles, and we were focused on learning about HIV and AIDS.
For me, it's been a journey of self-growth and finding out what I'm exactly passionate about. For me, when I started, I didn't really know what I wanted to do or how I wanted to help out or how I wanted to impact people. But through that first year, finding out what I wanted to do and then tailoring it slowly. And now that I'm a junior, I kind of have a better idea of who I am and what I want to do.
I think the Bennion Center is really unique because it has something for everyone. Whether you're, whether you're like me and you're working 2 jobs, you're a full-time student, you have an internship, things like that, you can still find a spot in the Bennion Center that fits your availability.
The reason that I applied to be a student leader was when I first started searching around our campus and the opportunities that are offered, I really wanted to get involved in our campus community particularly. And I've heard a lot of good things about the Bennion Center and a lot of the work that we do here and how impactful it is in our community.
The Bennion Center for me has been like one of the highlights of my college experience so far. And the people that I've met through it are people that I'm going to stick with for years to come.
All right, everyone. Thank you for your patience, for making it till the end. Hopefully you have a good idea of what the Bennion Center is all about. If you have any questions, please email us at info@bennioncenter.org. Check out our website again. Follow us on Instagram and love your community. Thank you for your time.